Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Jar of Marble dwellers and Jar of Marble curious. My name is Linda and this is Jar of Marbles. Yes, it is. And that's Bob. I'm Bob. That's right. So glad that you're here. It's always fantastic that you're here. This week, I wanted to talk a little bit about being a difficult woman. Are you a difficult woman? Apparently so. Watching yourself grow can, at particular points along your journey of life, can truly be fascinating if you are actually observing yourself in action. When you know your belief system, you know yourself enough that you can autopilot a little bit, not taking your eyes off the road, but you can truly enjoy Earth. You're relaxed enough to take in the bold blues in the sky, the many different greens of the trees, feeling happy for the hell of it, enjoying for the sake of it. That is to say, you are aware that you are allowing life to breathe through you, and it is a big high. When you are conscious that you are worrying about nothing, you actually aren't. You're not stuck on something that may or may not happen. You're not weighing the entire weight of your life and happiness on the outcome of something out there when you can just be. I'm not saying that life throws us, easy, lines. We usually get thrown some curvy ones, don't we? Oh boy, you sure do. Curly ones even. I enjoy those moments when, as I said, I allow, quick translation of allow, I let go, and I allow life to autopilot me along where I feel free and easy. And that seems to be when really the best things seem to happen in life, when I'm sort of staying out of my own way, where I'm not making things happen, for example, where I feel free and easy. I'm not anticipating anything, but the next lovely thing I see. Many of my relationships, my so-called romantic relationships, were emotionally abusive, neglective, no emotion, just physical and muscling through. At least that is how I experienced them. Of course, they weren't all one of those. They were just a bit of this and a bit of that. But being emotionally absent was the prime one for sure. And so was I. Very absent emotionally looking back. One of the abuse aspects was, for me, was being called names. You think of the worst names, and I've been called those. Not unusual, I know. It's disgusting that it is even relatively normal. But let me assure you, it isn't. It isn't normal, let alone acceptable. It's dangerous. From the viewpoint, it can lower how you feel about yourself fast, especially feeling like you're in defense mode all the time. It was disgusting and very revealing of the low life that stood before me. Anywho, one of the statements I have been told as far back as I can remember is that I've always been a difficult woman for a whole, when I was, for just such a long time, when I was a lot younger, of course. My God, that used to wound me to the core. Look, it actually is funny. You're not difficult much. I know, Bob. Now I can see clearly that, yes, I was fast with my retorts. If anyone was in for a fight with me, I was in like Flynn. So by me sticking up for myself or someone else, I was accused of being either difficult or angry. You're an angry little thing, aren't you? Oh, am I, dickhead? Anyway, none of which took into consideration their behaviours that led to that moment. It was my difficultness. It wasn't their stupidity, their hard heart, their ignorance or lack of manners. No, not at all. So anyway, moving on. The branding had begun and I was a difficult woman. Or I am a difficult woman. I was too young to know that it was nothing to be ashamed about, nothing I needed to improve about myself. I was being called difficult because I wasn't cooperating with not only a difficult partner, but a seriously abusive one. I was, in essence, not cooperating. I was fighting for the briefest of smiles or acceptance. I couldn't bear to be frozen out as I had been raised with that kind of nonsense. So I was reactive, not difficult, just plain reactive. So let's just say in another virtual reality, I was 100% a difficult woman. I was also a lot of other things too that I never heard, kind things that were never said. But one thing was for sure, I was difficult. When one partner arrived home stoned off their tree, I had kids coming home from school, I wasn't having it. I was not raising my kids around that. If that's what you need to do, find someone that thinks that's really cool. Not me. So again, yep, you guessed it, I was being difficult. These are the sorts that need to go back to finishing school, aka home to mummy who did not do her job, or daddy for that matter, not doing it on my time or on my kids' time, who were kicking goals at school and were just really happy kids. I wasn't going to keep secrets from them. They would sense it anyway because we were so open and communicative with one another, and being so difficult a woman, I was not going to stay in any of those kind of relationships. It's not a good sign when the yawn comes on. It wasn't just the drugs. He wasn't doing his share, and having 3 kids, I had zero room for a pretend adult. I know that this is so many people's story out there. This is not unique. This is not unusual. It's just shining a light on what was. And it's not a good sign when you have to point out the obvious. And then they fight with you, defend their habits, and boy, oh boy, you're a difficult woman. And as I said at the time, you need to find a new script. But why? Because I'd heard it all before, not just him, but the one before that, and through other women who were suffering at the hands of undeveloped partners who refused to own their own behaviours. That's it. It's just an applause for those out there that get it. I was undeveloped in many ways too, and I just didn't know it. But when I cottoned on to what I wasn't going to accept, I moved faster than a rat up a bloody drain pipe. Oh, I like that. I know, Bob, me too. It wasn't easy. None of it was. I was also nursing my wounds, as difficult women do. Difficult as a banana in a blender trying to find its purpose I was. Sometimes life feels like a whirlwind, doesn't it? But just like that banana, you'll blend your way through challenges and discover your unique flavour. Like all queenagers with difficult labels, or the label of being difficult, we will move forward always. Absolutely. So looking back, as I just thought more about it, I realised that I'd been called difficult since I was really young. I hadn't thought about it until I started sort of thinking about talking about it here on the podcast, and I didn't exactly find the term offensive, but it does describe a type of prejudice that is complex and confusing enough to merit a look at, a decomposition, a deconstruction, if you will. On further scrutiny, the other names included argumentative. Apparently, I can be someone who's always going to have something to say, object to, and comment on about anything. How very, very dare you. I know. I have also noticed that if, say, I'm having a conversation and if I don't agree and the other becomes very defensive, it is a really clear feeling, isn't it? Very distinct. The feeling's just gone sour. I usually try to say something with the aim to bring the conversation back on the tracks. If not successful, it can go pear-shaped really fast and I'm really just left wondering what the hell just happened. I really hate those situations with a passion because it was unnecessary and I'm left feeling that I've done something to upset them. That's where being a mind reader could come in handy. And I really think that people in the past, at least, ones that I've had anything to do with, have honestly expected me to know precisely what was going on in their lives and how dare I not know and treat them accordingly. Tough times come and go. As we all know, I've come to know if someone is making you feel like you're being difficult and you know for sure that was not on your mind or your intention, and let's say this person knows you well enough to know for a fact that you are not that way inclined, it may be them that's actually difficult. Yeah. Oh, God forbid. Sometimes we can't shield ourselves, well, not quick enough, from incoming, and you're left feeling completely at a loss to what just happened. Sometimes other people are plain flat out difficult and they go around pointing their gnarly fingerless? They go around pointing their gnarly finger at others. To thine own self be true. As I've discussed many times before in other episodes, it has saved me many times. I have choices, as do you. It is all about cultivating a positive mindset, cultivating, preparing and using it, and very much finding the joy in the little things. Now that is a game changer for me. Now, I have been considered a difficult woman when I was reacting to being treated like a fool. And as I recall, I used to think and say, how come I don't get to be the cool girl when I feel pushed all the time? Being under immense pressure, I wasn't giving myself anywhere enough credit for what I was actually wading through. It's that old hindsight thing, isn't it? I look back and think, man, I wish I could have seen my value or had been made to feel of value, to realise that my reactions were spot on and in places quite courageous. Go you. Yeah, that's right. Absolutely. The day I decided I was going to be happy, there was no turning back. And somewhere in that mix, I began to consciously value myself, not waiting on someone or anyone to recognise it, but for me, to own myself completely, wide awake and with intention. Gloriously difficult. That's me.
But why difficult?
Because I'm going against the flow without knowing it. I always have, and it has got up some people's noses, and they had no business to be in my business, not required or requested. I would say, do not hide your strength. In order to fit in, it is required that you may have to hide your strength because the leader of the pack might not like it. So the truth is, the power to turn things around resides within you. Be the leader of your own pack. That saying about superpowers, the truth is the power to turn things around, resides within you, and that's your superpower. It's in all of us, every single one of us. The only difference between a good and a bad day is your attitude.
I'll upsize that one, please.
That's right, Bob. You can never have too much self-love and self-worth. Once you start surrounding yourself with it, life becomes so sweet.
Why did the chicken go to the gym?
Why?
To work on his pecs.
It's not bad, look.
Do you know why birds sing in the morning?
Tell me.
Because they don't have to go to work.
Oh, what? You've got a good one there. I like that, Bob. Hashtag being a difficult woman. What are you doing over there, Bob?
Looking for a serious person who wants to settle down, get married and build a home.
How come?
I'm selling cement.
Okay. Sometimes we have to make difficult decisions. Sometimes the hardest decisions are the best decisions for your mental health.
Oh, true that.
Sometimes, I think it is fair to say that it's true to say that you will feel sad after making the so-called right decision, and that doesn't mean that it wasn't the right decision. While we're learning and growing, which is what happens while you're on the planet, it never sort of actually stops.
Oh, no.
No, that's right, Bob, but it's okay. If you're feeling uncomfortable, that is a great sign. People who deny that they have done to you will never help you to heal. These are the ones that will deny your story because they deny and refuse to be honest with their own.
Oh, boom!
I know, right? Bloody right, so true. Giving up hope is the best thing that you'll ever do for yourself. I know that is hard to move on, let go when you have been treated so badly, but eventually time will expose the truth, and by then I can assure you, you won't care. Time will reveal no matter how carefully it's been hidden. And as the great prophet Elvis Presley said, truth is like the sun, you can shut it out for a time, but it ain't going away.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, me too. I have found with my own life story, there are people who would rather lose you than risk having the truth come out.
Oh, God.
I know, right? So true. Just leave the blame on their doorstep. You don't need them. You don't need it or them. You really don't. And if they want to spout that you're a difficult woman,
be our guest.
That's right, Bob, because we are not only healing from what has happened, we're healing from not being believed, no one listening. It's the being around people who have supported the abusive person and not cared to ask after you. I am so sorry if this has happened to you. I see you more than you know. As Andrei Lankov said, to not have your suffering recognised is an almost unbearable form of violence.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah, it is. But getting way past it, and you will, the best marble dwellers, it is as though it never happened. It doesn't sting anymore. You're basically profoundly relieved to not be around any of it anymore. So I'm celebrating myself loudly this year. I hope you are celebrating yourself too. I'm just going to clap real loud. Yeah. For centuries, women have faced numerous challenges and struggles that have hindered their progression in equality in various aspects of life. Despite several advancements and movements towards gender equality, women continue to face various obstacles that are unique to their gender.
Boy, isn't that the truth?
That's the truth, solid truth. One of the most difficult things about being a woman is the constant pressure to conform to society's expectations of what a woman should look like, what she should achieve in life, what she can act like. This pressure can lead to feelings of inadequacy, low self-esteem and self-doubt. But I'm here to tell you,
Don't fall for it.
That's right, don't fall for it, marble dwellers. Additionally, women often face discrimination, inequality in the workplace, where they are paid less than their male counterparts for doing the same job. Oh my God, it's just a sausage factory out there, isn't it? Is it?
Yes, it is.
That's right, Bob. You go. They are also underrepresented in leadership positions, which limits their opportunities for career advancement. So in summary, being a woman comes with its own set of challenges and difficulties that are often overlooked or dismissed. By acknowledging and addressing these issues, we can work towards creating a more equitable and just society for all genders. Yeah, absolutely. Hashtag being a difficult woman.
Are you a difficult woman?
Bob, personally, I prefer to describe myself as delightfully difficult, and it would just be easier if you'd just agree.
Oh, okay.
Hold on, wait a minute. And if you're able to find humour in these situations, well, you win.
Oh, I like that.
You know,
It's not hard to tell crocodiles and alligators apart.
is that so, Bob?
Yeah, one will see you in a while, whereas the other will see you later.
So, no, Bob, I don't consider myself a difficult woman. I have my stripes. I know to and always avoid drama, and I'm quick to stage left if someone thinks that I'm interested in getting involved. I've got my garden to water. I'm not available for stupid thinking in situations. Life is too great to be bothered. It's an every single day practice of staying in my centre. There are, after all, flowers to admire. Just love flowers. So, Bob, I think I'm an anthophilian.
Great Scott, what's that? Does it hurt? Is it contagious?
No, Bob, it just means that I love flowers.
Oh, crikey.
It's a lovely romance that I've had for many, many years. Just love the beauty, the perfection, the miracle of the designs and the colours of flowers. Hashtag being a difficult woman. Whenever you have been gaslit as someone's insisting that you're being overly sensitive, hiding their true intentions, lying and changing, manipulating facts, shifting blame, creating a gradual distortion of the truth, this and more can lead to you being framed as a difficult woman. Hear ye, all difficult woman. When you don't cooperate with the gaslighter, with the passive-aggressive, the bloody martyr, the liar, whoever, how very, very dare you. And during these times in my own life, back in another existence, that was when I was told how difficult I was on a regular basis. It got to the point where once I got past being insulted, it simply just didn't mean anything anymore, or at least anything kind, genuine, informed, educated, etc. And certainly I was no longer triggered or interested. Back in the day, I would have talked myself into a corner, hoping to be understood. But when their bad behaviour would escalate because I wasn't backing down, you've got it.
You were a difficult woman?
That's absolutely right, Bob. But the reality was I could see their bullshit. Before I couldn't. I guess I didn't want to. However you want to slice it. And like all things, when you wake up, you can't go back to sleep. I just wasn't having it. I got fairly tired of yawning too hard at the boring garbage being pontificated in my direction. I kept seeing my life flash before my eyes.
What do you mean?
Well, I could see this. This was how I didn't want to live. I wasn't having fun anymore. I wasn't having it. I was finding my feet and gradually my self-worth, my power.
Oh, I love it when you talk all forcefully.
I earned my difficult woman stripe. That's right. That's right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Bob.
I threw my back out sleeping and tweaked my neck sneezing, and I'm one fart away from paralysis.
What's that all about, Bob?
I was once so uptight over someone, but I chose my health.
That is excellent. Smart move. Protecting yourself, feeling like you have to defend yourself is exhausting and zero good for your health. My grandmother was fond of saying, beauty is only skin deep, but ugly goes all the way to the bone. Thanks, Grandma. That's right.
That's right.
That's right, Bob. No one is worth making you feel less, being labelled a difficult woman, no less. Because let's face it, no one is calling you a difficult woman because they're being encouraging. They probably want you to knock it down a few notches to suit their agenda, whatever the hell that is. And that would be a who cares. How very, very dare you have an opinion.
How very, very.
I love watching people's journeys, watching those leaps of growth where they have put something to bed for good. That's right. That's the stuff right there, marble dwellers. That's right. If you can, stay untamed. Keep it at the forefront of your mind. It does not have to be an announcement. You weren't built to follow fellow difficult women. You were built to blaze trails and heal others just by being you. Maybe rebellious, and always your purpose is calling you.
My neighbour yelled at her kids so loud that I even brushed my teeth and went to bed.
That's nice, Bob. I love that. That is kind of funny, though. To thine own self be true. And if someone decides that you're being difficult, you have to consider the source. Who say so? And do we care? Yeah, me neither, not I.
Me too.
That's right, Bob. As has been said in different ways on the Jar of Marbles podcast, choosing. You've got choices. Happiness is a powerful decision that will have a major impact on our lives. It's about cultivation, cultivating that mindset of yours to work for you, finding joy in the little things. Oh, hell yes, it just feels lovely. And as I say, happiness is a journey, never a destination. I remember first time I ever read that was in a toilet many, many years ago. It just popped into my mind. And I didn't really get it. I thought that sounded cool, but I didn't really get it. Once you decide to be happily difficult, you'll never look back. That's right, because we have the power to turn our lives around. It resides inside us. And it is that time again.
Oh no, I don't want to go.
As always, I want to thank you for making it this far again. You are my hero. So just go extra heavy on the self-love, self-care and self-growth right now. Be proud of your difficult self, which is just code for having your own back, having your own mind. A final quote by Jane Goodall. It actually doesn't take much to be considered a difficult woman. That's why there's so many of us. Whoop, whoop. Listen to those words and absorb them. So, say g'day to the family for me, give the yellow belly a stroke, and I'll see you next time, okay? Okay then.